let's face it, you put 5 lawyers in a room, you're going to get 5 different opinions. This is almost impossible for the layman to understand.
That's right, and I think there is a genuinely healthy debate around the terms of the deal. What's interesting is I've got the EU's own legal advice on this, and what they make clear is that the British deal is, for the most part, a fairly general set of expectations as to what should happen, but not an enforceable guarantee as to what will happen, not the kind of guarantee you get when you buy a dishwasher and if it breaks you get your money back. But when it comes down to the last word on enforceability, that very clearly lies with the European Court of Justice in Luxembourg. And again, the EU's crystal clear advice is that the Luxembourg court will be required to consider the deal, but then free to ignore it.
But isn't the practical reality of this that even though there is the possibility that the ECJ might do something different, the practical reality is for them to wade into an argument which 28 political leaders have agreed is just unthinkable?
Well, that would be, Vicky, to ignore the last 20 years of the practice of all the supranational institutions at the EU. The EU Court of Justice in particular was described in evidence to the House of Lords committee on this area. The Luxembourg court was described by former Attorney General Dominic Raab as having predatory qualities, and he's on the inside. So actually I think the Luxembourg's court's record as being a motor for integration is very strong, and I think there must be a real risk that they would look at this and think, nah.
But isn't this all about who you trust ultimately? If you're on the side of staying in the EU, you feel that, hang on, they're going to do the right thing. There's a political direction here and that's been clearly set out. But for people like you, you don't trust the EU institutions.
Well, I certainly trust in principle and in good faith the other 28 governments that have agreed to this, because I don't think they would deliberately act in bad faith. What I worry about is perhaps in a few years down the line, we don't know when treaty change would be, or in relation to the European Parliament or the Commission, and then ultimately the Luxembourg court, that those supranational institutions would not feel bound because they didn't sign up to this and they certainly don't believe in it.
So it's all about sovereignty of the place behind us.
It's about, when push comes to shove, who has the democratic accountability over the laws of the land in this country. And I want to make sure that Parliament has the last word, not either the bureaucrats in Brussels or the Luxembourg court.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.